Hey guys, Smokey here with a video. I haven't done a TV show review for a little bit. I wasn't doing them there for a while. And I finally did a new movie review, which was Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice. Go check that out if you haven't yet. Put a lot of work into it. This is the next one that I'm going to try to put some work into it. So yeah, this is Danny Phantom, The Ultimate Enemy, I believe, which is a good title for this episode. Really good. I'm actually going to mute the TV because I haven't finished the episode yet, but I wanted to go ahead and yeah, The Ultimate Enemy. Let's kind of start the review. So, the opening music with the cockroach on the destroyed outskirts of Amity Park and the ghost shield around the main town is awesomely done. Like, that's a real good way to show the future without telling you, hey, we're in the future. It just showed you that there's something destroyed. A few seconds later, it does show that. It shows the town being somewhat normal because of the ghost shield, Valerie flying around on a board. Everybody knows who Valerie is, kind of, it seems like. And her dad being okay with it, even though she's afraid to tell him. In the current time of like the main, where the show takes place, if I remember correctly, her dad grounds her every time he finds out she's doing it. So yeah, that was really good. The Whale of the Ghost, and not showing who he is, like trying to build it up, is amazingly done. I mean, I've watched this episode so many times, so I know who it is. But I'm trying to do this from first time watching. Valerie falling from a crazy height while she's fighting the one ghost. I don't remember. I don't know the ghost. I believe it's the night ghost that Danny fights in a few episodes. But like showing that is really done well. But her falling from a crazy height, she must have the armor Batman had in the episode, or not episode, but the comic issue where he fell from the sky. Like he fell from space back to Earth. Did burn his batsuit up for himself. So she must have that kind of armor built into her suit. Also showing Nasty Burger 2 without context of what happens. Right up, like in the beginning, it just says there's a Nasty Burger 2. Now, if you look at that through like a first glance, I don't know what kind of promos they did for this episode. And I wish this would have gotten a game instead of Urban Jungle. Urban Jungle is a good episode. Might review that at some point, so look forward to that in the future. But this deserved like a full-on video game. I would have loved that. But yeah, I just showed it without context, besides what happens later on in the episode, which we'll talk about eventually. Valerie's dad working in the Fenton lab without revealing where the Fentons are. That's done well too. It just it just shows them working there. The reveal of the ghost, like I'm calling the evil Danny the ghost because it's technically not Danny. You'll find out why later on in the review. But that is done a very, very. Well, it's not really done well, but it's done like, yeah, that's a good way to show it for a kids show. Very simple. I mean, they could have done better. This was 2000s Nickelodeon, 2000s, early 2000s Nickelodeon, 90s Nickelodeon, awesome. 2010 and later, meh. The ghost killing Valerie and her dad was brutal. If you're a kid watching this for the first time, you may or may not have gotten that, but it's just like, wow, they actually put it in there without showing you. Ghost telling Clockwork to kill Danny because of this is kind of crazy. Because like, if you watch how Clockwork works in this episode, he's not going to do it. I mean, he just kind of tests Danny with a bunch of stuff, which is kind of funny. He's just like, yeah, I'm going to do your guys' lesson, but by the way, I'm going to just test him the whole time. So the main lesson of this episode is your future is not being set and carved in stone. You could change the outcome. And Danny, besides struggling with the ghost later on in the episode, he's struggling with to cheat or to not to cheat on the big test because he well, he's fighting box lunch, he flies through the case and the papers get stuck to him, which I don't get how that works since he was, in his phasing form, but it's just there for plot convenience. But that is done really well because Danny struggles with it throughout the whole episode. Also, I had a teacher. I have a picture of him. I had to actually go find this picture, but I have a teacher that looks like Mr. What's his name? Lancer? Yeah, I can't remember what it was. I knew it was Lance something or Lawrence. I wanted to say Lawrence, but yeah, it's Mr. Lancer. So I'll put that right here if I remember.
Where do you want us to go?
Do side by side.
Let us know.
Also, Clockwork,
It's a
yeah,
sign.
questioning how Danny becomes evil. That's awesome too, because that goes into what I said earlier. Jazz wanting to help Danny, but yeah, she wants to help, but not help. She wants to straight tell him, "Hey, this is wrong, dumbass." Um, it's good, but it also fuels her ego because she got the best score. Her score, her ego's crazy. Um, Box Lunch is more funnier than her parents in a way because she's, I guess, because she's a younger, inexperienced version of it. But you think she would at least know who Danny is?
Where was that noise?
Because all the ghosts know Danny.
Pains in my chest.
The Nasty Burger get destroyed because of Danny's recklessness is a good way to show, like where they do that preview thing shows, what's going to happen, why there's a Nasty Burger too. Building it up is really done well. Danny getting close to opening the test answers to study and cheat, and Sam and Tucker tell him to stop, and then Skulker 9.9, I think is what they called it. I don't think they said the other ghost's name. Showing up is sad. Like, that's crazy. But it's really done, like, really perfect timing because Danny's really struggling with it. Tucker being surprised. He get into Skulker's tech is fine. Lancer said, and Danny took the answers is also kind of funny because I don't remember if Lancer actually knows Danny is the ghost boy or not at this point in time. Them telling Danny about his future self, is nicely done. I believe it's, yeah, I think I'm still talking about Skulker and them here. Skulker 9.9. Them telling him kind of about how evil Danny is. Then the gang getting sent to Clockwork's tower and seeing evil Danny, the way that Danny, Sam, and Tucker kind of look mortified and mad, and kind of jumped Danny's ass because of him wanting to cheat, saying this is what started it is.
I did see.
Also done kind of well. Clockwork telling them that Danny needs to be stopped before the future's altered, but yeah, he's also tried to kill Danny, which alters the future anyway, so he's kind of having a pointless, argument with them, in my opinion, but like I get why he's doing it. Adult Valerie getting PTSD is really well done, where she sees them and realizes, oh, these ain't just, like the future Danny fucking with her, or well, the ghost fucking with her. Danny liking MILF Valerie is really funny. That part's that's really funny. He just goes, "Wow, an older woman likes me." So apparently, Danny likes MILFs. Confirmed. The ghost telling Danny about how he got rid of his human half is a subtle way of saying what Vlad's eventually going to tell him. The ghost putting the medallion in Danny is meaning then going back in time to make the future happen just so he can stay alive is actually, it's sad, but it's no, in the long run, that's good writing for this. It shows how well a villain he is. Does Clockwork know that the ghost is in Danny's place and the president? And that's why he's just letting things kind of slide since he can see the future and the past and the present all at once. I'm just kind of curious if that's why he doesn't really, he kind of just half-asses stuff there for this episode. Showing the future version of the ghost is such a good touch. Josh telling the ghost that she knows about Danny's secret of him being the ghost boy is done good. And the ghost realizes that she knew, and his face goes from evil to a slight look of, humanity still in him, which is really good. The boomerang transition, awesome done. Like, awesomely done. That is really good. It just, flows through. This shows it being, coming and it looks old and it's not spinning anymore. It's just floating slowly. All the ghost kicking Danny's ass and telling him what each one's done to him. Like, that's nice. I believe that's what I was talking about where they were showing I don't know. The way Danny unlocks his whale, of him just yelling at the ghost saying that he didn't do it and to stop, and then the whale just coming out. and him actually getting it before future Danny gets it in his timeline, which I would love to see. Like how future Danny became evil. That would have been awesome to see, in my opinion. That's done awesomely. The ghost being able to send his phasing form out to touch Jazz and shock her, because technically it is two ghosts. Because Vlad's ghost combined with his ghost. Um, yeah, that's really well done. Vlad telling Danny what happened is sad, and then letting him know that his ghost self, the evil ghost, kills Danny, and that is brutal. And then the ghost takes Vlad's ghost, combines it. Is, yeah, like so crazy. Like so much thought and effort went into this. I'm really, really shocked. The ghost and Lancer's little banner is funny while they're in the classroom, because Lancer hinting that he knows, and the ghost is straight up saying, "Yeah, I know, but who gives a, who cares?" Is really funny. Vlad wanting to kill Daddy is funny because Daddy does not see that coming somehow. Like he doesn't do it, but it's like really, Daddy, you didn't think that was a possibility. The ghost making everyone get to the nasty burger is a wow, because that means Danny causes his own guilt. Technically, because the ghost has, but yeah. You think the ghost will at least try to save the mom, because it was part of Vlad, but nah. The ghost telling his family Danny is a ghost, as the hero, and basically calling the parents dumb for not seeing it is also really done well. Was not expecting that and didn't remember that part, so that was good. Also, another thing I didn't notice until rewatching this: the ghost saying he is inevitable before Thanos, because Thanos made that popular. So technically, the ghost was the first Thanos, which it kind of actually is a Infinity War and Endgame situation here. That what now I'm thinking about it with all the time travel and stuff, but that's just a joke. The ghost of Danny's fight is a good way of showing off Danny, showing the tech of the family, and their little banter is just kind of funny. I didn't really write much about that part, but here's a part that I wrote at like 5 sentences for. So here we go. Danny using his will as his future self, and his future self being shocked that Danny beats him with something that took him 10 years to master and create and build is good. It is good because it shows Danny is, changing his future. It shows that Danny is smarter than his future self, and Danny's kind of learned it anyways. It shows him beating him. Then he puts the ghost in a therm, which was also done really well. And I also like that Clockwork stops time to save the family, and it does answer the question about the reset time. But it gave me another question: how did Danny get put back into the body from during the test? Because that means that is one Danny still in the future? And another Danny got put back. And what happened to, like, or is he in an alternate universe or something? So yeah, there's that question also. Um, and Danny being happy about Jazz knowing his secret, and them just being like having a little brother sister banter relationship, saying that she's like, I'll still be protective of you because you're my brother. And nosy and stuff, just siblings being siblings is really done well also. That's a good way to tie up most of the loose ends. Like I said, I still have one more other loose end. That's going to be it for this one. I know this video is longer than what I normally do, because usually my reviews are like 3 minutes long. And then you got that 44-minute Ninja Turtle video that was a combination of a bunch of reviews, because I didn't have a video for a while and I need to put something out. So there was that. But yeah, that's it. Like, comment, share, subscribe. If you guys want more Danny Fam, I'm thinking about doing the other time Danny got split from his ghost self. I'm also thinking about doing not Urban Legend, but Urban Jungle. Also want to do the Christmas episode at some point. And I got so many video ideas now I want to do with just Danny Phantom. Because Danny Phantom has a lot of good episodes. Also, if you guys want me to review any other older Nickelodeon cartoons, or any cartoons in general, let me know. I will review them. Uh, so yeah. Like, comment, share, subscribe, turn on notifications. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.